History Every Kid Should Know presents Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. Long ago, in the year 69 BCE, in a magnificent palace in Alexandria, Egypt, a special princess was born. Her name was Cleopatra, and she belonged to a family called the Ptolemies, who had ruled Egypt for nearly 300 years. Unlike other princesses of her time, young Cleopatra wasn't content with just playing in the palace gardens. Instead, she spent hours in Alexandria's great library, the biggest collection of books in the ancient world. She studied mathematics, astronomy, philosophy, and the history of her beloved Egypt. Cleopatra was extremely intelligent and well-educated. She spoke multiple languages, including Greek, Egyptian, and others, which allowed her to communicate with many leaders and diplomats. But what made her truly special was that she was the only one in her royal family who took the time to learn Egyptian. For 3 centuries, her family had only spoken Greek, but Cleopatra wanted to talk directly to her people. When Cleopatra turned 18, she became Queen of Egypt. She had to marry and share the throne with her 10-year-old brother Ptolemy XIII, as was the custom in those days. But her brother's advisors were jealous of Cleopatra's popularity and convinced him to force her out of the palace. This is when Cleopatra showed just how clever she could be. She heard that Julius Caesar, the most powerful Roman leader, was staying in Alexandria's royal palace. Instead of giving up, she planned a daring scheme. With help from her most trusted friend, a Sicilian merchant named Apollodorus, she had herself wrapped in a carpet. Apollodorus carried this special bundle right past the palace guards. When the carpet was unrolled in front of Caesar, he was amazed to meet this brave young queen. Not only was she beautiful, but she could speak to him in perfect Latin, his own language. Caesar was so impressed by her intelligence and courage that he helped her regain her throne. Once Caesar had helped her regain her throne, they had a son together named Caesarion. As queen, Cleopatra worked hard to make Egypt prosperous. She built new temples and repaired old ones. She made sure the all-important Nile flood was measured carefully each year, so farmers would know how much food they could grow. She protected Egypt's famous grain, which fed people all around the Mediterranean Sea. During her reign, Cleopatra sailed up the Nile in a magnificent golden boat to meet her people. She visited ancient temples and made offerings to the Egyptian gods, especially Isis, the goddess of wisdom and magic. The Egyptian people loved seeing their queen, dressed in the sacred robes of Isis, speaking their language and honoring their traditions. They built a great lighthouse called the Pharos, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and made Alexandria a center of learning and culture. After Caesar was assassinated, Cleopatra never stopped fighting for her kingdom. She formed an alliance with another Roman leader named Mark Antony, and together they tried to create a world where Egypt could remain free. They fell in love and became partners in life and politics. Together, they ruled over parts of the Eastern Mediterranean and tried to challenge Rome's dominance. However, their efforts led to a conflict with Octavian, the future emperor, Augustus of Rome. Octavian defeated their forces at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. After the defeat, Antony and Cleopatra retreated to Egypt. When Octavian's forces reached Alexandria, Antony was told Cleopatra had died, and so he took his own life. Distraught over Mark Antony's death and knowing she would be paraded through Rome as a captive, Cleopatra chose to end her life. According to legend, she allowed a venomous snake, possibly an asp, to bite her. This dramatic end in 31 BCE marked the fall of Egypt as an independent kingdom. For more than 2,000 years, people have told stories about Cleopatra. They remember her not just for her beauty, but for her quick mind, her ability to speak many languages, and her love for Egypt and its people. Today, scientists and historians are still discovering new things about her reign, and children all over the world learn about the clever queen who ruled in ancient Egypt. Thank you for watching and learning with us. Please like, share, and subscribe so we can keep making history lessons that are educational and fun for people of all ages.